It started with a gentle hum that once echoed across the planet. A sound so subtle that most people never even noticed it, but it was everywhere, woven into the morning breeze, fluttering through fields of wildflowers, hovering over clover and lavender. Bees have been silently orchestrating the rhythm of the natural world for over 100 million years. Their wings beat in harmony with life itself, pollinating the plants that give us fruit, vegetables, coffee, and even cotton.
Coffee.
But now, the hum is disappearing, and with it, a delicate system that holds more power over our lives.
If this is a multi-year thing,
imagined.
it'll change the way we consume food in the United States.
That's a pretty significant statement.
It's huge.
Most people don't notice the silence growing because they never paid attention to the noise. But if the bees go, it's not just the flowers that die. It's the chain reaction, the ecosystems that unravel, the crops that fail, the prices that soar, and the food that vanishes. This isn't a future problem. It's already happening.
It's happening now!
And what scares scientists isn't just that bees are dying. It's that no one is doing enough to stop it.
That's funny, I just can't seem to recall that! I think something like the smell of flames!
Not as much!
The decline didn't come like a tidal wave. It crept in like fog, slowly and then suddenly. First came the reports from beekeepers. Colonies thriving one week and empty the next. No corpses, no predators, just vanished. Entire hives gone as if stolen by ghosts. They called it colony collapse disorder, a term that sounds clinical and removed, but it's anything but. Imagine watching your life's work dissolve overnight. Thousands of creatures that worked tirelessly for a queen suddenly gone. It started in the early 2000s, but the symptoms had been building for decades. Shrinking habitats, rising pesticide use, and climate pressure. What's alarming is that no single culprit stands alone. The death of bees isn't an isolated issue. It's the result of every bad decision we've made about nature crashing together in one small winged creature. The pesticides came first, neonicotinoids in particular. These are not your grandfather's chemicals. They're neuroactive insecticides that attack the bee's nervous system, subtly warping their sense of direction. A bee exposed to neonicotinoids will often leave the hive to forage and never return, not because it doesn't want to, but because it physically can't find its way back. This creates what's called disorientation, a word that sounds benign, but for bees is fatal. And when enough bees don't come home, the colony collapses. Governments have been slow to regulate these chemicals. Why? Because they're good for yields in the short term. Big agriculture argues that without them, food production would suffer, but what they ignore is that killing the pollinators eventually kills the crops. It's a bargain with no future. At the same time, we began tearing up the places bees need to live. Wild meadows became suburbs. Flowering fields were replaced with sterile monocultures. Instead of a buffet of plants to forage from, bees were now faced with endless rows of identical crops that bloom once and then go silent. No diversity, no resilience, no sustenance. It's like offering someone one giant meal a year and expecting them to survive. Add to that the rise of genetically modified crops, which often lack the nectar bees depend on, and you begin to see the trap we've laid. We're starving them while poisoning them, and wondering why they don't thrive. Parasites added another layer of horror. The varroa mite, no bigger than a pinhead, is one of the most devastating threats to bee populations. It attaches to bees, drinks their blood like hemolymph, and spreads deadly viruses. In weakened colonies already under stress from pesticides and poor nutrition, these mites are the final blow. And they spread fast. A single infected hive can turn into a graveyard in weeks, but fighting them is costly and complicated, and many beekeepers, especially in developing nations, simply don't have the resources. It's death by 1,000 cuts, each factor on its own survivable, but together catastrophic. Then there's climate change. Temperature shifts alter flowering times, disrupting the synchrony between plants and pollinators. Droughts kill off the wildflowers bees rely on. Floods destroy hives. Sudden cold snaps paralyze foragers. The environment bees evolved in is shifting faster than they can adapt. Some scientists describe it as ecological whiplash. And unlike us, bees don't have air conditioning or international food shipments to fall back on. They live and die by the natural rhythms of the seasons. And those rhythms are breaking. What makes this more terrifying is how deeply we depend on them. Roughly 75% of global food crops rely, at least in part, on pollination. That includes apples, almonds, blueberries, cucumbers, melons, and countless others.
It is a lot. It's a lot.
Without bees, your supermarket becomes a desert of grains and processed foods. Prices rise, nutrition drops, diets collapse into beige sameness. But the worst part? Most people won't notice until it's already too late.